Hey there, everybody. John Greenwald here, founder and creator of theblackvault.com, shooting you a quick blast to profile one single document. Now, this document is a declassified record from the CIA, and I'm showing it to you to illustrate what a real government document looks like that talks about UFO debris. Now, you've seen on this channel there are some claims going around that the Pentagon recently admitted to having UFO debris and releasing the test results. That is all bunk. There is nothing to support that. I did an extensive video and article, which I linked down below. So make sure if you are interested in that and missed it, check it out because those claims are not warranted. But what is interesting to note is that the government has released UFO debris admissions before. Now, whether or not it's alien or not, which is what we all want to know, well, that's a separate debate and a separate question altogether. But these documents prove, or this document, I should say, that I'm about to show you, proves beyond any shadow of a doubt when they talk about UFO debris, they actually say it in the document. There are no code words or secret circumventing of talking about what the record is really about. All of those are, in my opinion, stretches and even fabrications to want to believe that these recently released documents are talking about UFO debris. But again, we can debunk that. But what we can't debunk is this here. Now, I want to show you this record. I published an article today about it, same day I'm publishing this video. Also, we'll link that below so you can check this document out. It's very, very cool. This comes from the CIA UFO collection. I've had the majority of that collection online for 20 or so years. So these have been around for quite some time. But what isn't really talked about a lot is what is in the documents. A lot of times, and I fully admit this, I've got 2.2 million pages. A lot of times I'll talk about something, get it, post it out there, even write articles, but then forget about it for years to come. Well, I wanted to reprofile this one, because this shows beyond any shadow of a doubt that the CIA has at least one documented piece of UFOs. Now, spoiler alert, there are more, so expect some more videos and some more postings soon, but I wanted to start with this one. It's pretty interesting. Now, here is the top of the report. It's called an exploitation report. It is very hard to read. I'll get to that in a minute. It's very hard to read, but you will see that there is a fragment, a piece of metal recovered in the Republic of the Congo that was believed to be from an unidentified flying object. Country unidentified. Now, this is the top of the report, showing clearly that they have a physical piece of something from what they call a UFO. Now, just so you know, this was from 1966, the 4th of May to be exact. And this report, albeit has somewhat of a conclusion that they felt that it was an electrical instrument of some kind, they have no idea where it came from. Now, that could very well be a piece of space debris. This was definitely the era for that. But again, it shows that there are connections between UFO documents and the idea that they have some kind of debris to talk about. Now, I want to show you this stamp here, Poor Original. Well, this is simply meaning just that. The document that the CIA has, or so they claim, is the only version they have of it, and it is a poor original. So the words on it are incredibly hard to read. You can see here that this is actually kind of readable versus some of the other stuff in this document. I'll get to those screenshots in a minute. Let me read to you the details about this UFO piece of debris, this fragment of metal. Again, this is a declassified CIA report. Anybody can confirm its authenticity. It says, on file in CIA library is an exploitation report on a metallic fragment approximately 2 inches by 2 inches by 1 inches, recovered near, I won't try and pronounce that, Republic of the Congo. The fragment was recovered by ground search after a UFO fell to Earth in the area. The report concludes that the fragment was originally part of an electrical component and was constructed of 0.010 inch thick silicon steel laminate. Now, again, this kind of leans towards an Earth-based piece of something, but as the report can say, they have no idea where on Earth it actually came from. Could this essentially be something else? maybe Earth-like, and I'm not trying to stretch here, I'm just trying to look at all possibilities, maybe Earth-like built in a similar way, but something else. The possibilities are endless here because in the end, the CIA could not identify whatever this piece was. Now, in addition to this, and in addition to the fact that they could not identify where this piece came from, there are some other things that can be deduced. Now, as you can see with this screenshot here, it is very hard to read, but you can come up with a few things here. This is part of the conclusion in this particular document. They do believe that it was an electrical component of some kind. They could not figure out the country of origin, as it states right here. And whatever the object is ultimately, they could deduce that it was exposed to extremely high temperatures. Now, I do believe that this is 2,800 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, some of you may have a different interpretation on that, but regardless, it's a very high temperature, whatever that is. So I'll let you look at that screenshot, figure it out. I see 2,800, but again, up for interpretation there. But clearly, this was a big, it was a high temperature rate. Now, what does it look like when they also release test results? Well, it looks like this. The CIA also tested the piece and brought down the chemical composition: carbon, manganese, silicon, nickel, chromium, and quite a few other elements that were in this. Now, as I've stated before, very hard to read the exact breakdowns and percentages, but this is showing that it's an alloy of some kind. Whether or not it's manufactured here, it likely was. But again, they couldn't figure out the origin, but they went as so far as to break down the composition of it. They also have photos. Now you can see here's the ruler, and you can make out the object in the back, the fragment piece of metal. Who knows what it really looks like, because this is like a 30th generation photocopy, which I say that for it being a photocopy of a photocopy of a photocopy. And like I said, they claim that this is the only copy they have, which they deem a poor original. But you can see in the full document, this is not the only photo. They actually have quite a few. Now, in my opinion, regardless of the age of the document, the CIA, I'm sorry, probably doesn't destroy the originals and keep the 30th generation photocopy. That's not anything I could fight in a court of law, but it's just a gut feeling that when you talk about intelligence, you likely keep the best intelligence that you can. And in this case, in the 1960s, my guess is they kept the original documents and photographs, or at least copies thereof, ones that you can actually see in their archive. Out of all of the CIA records, I wouldn't say that this is by far number one, the most interesting. There are quite a few interesting ones, but I would say that this is definitely at the top of the list. And I bring this up to say, out of all of them, for them to say, oh, this is the poor original, you can't read anything, is obviously quite a coincidence for them to make that claim that they don't have anything more readable or more legible or clearer for us to look at and peruse. So if you want to read the full document, it is here. You just click on that link and it will bring up the entire PDF document from the CIA for you to read and try and decipher. If you find something else interesting I did not point out, if you have some kind of cool Photoshop trick to make that text a little bit more readable, place it in the comments below. And of course, you know the drill. If you like these videos, please give me that thumbs up button. Make sure you subscribe to this channel and turn those notifications on. And it always helps if you can pass the word. Post this video wherever you think people would like it. And of course, if you feel like pitching in a cup of coffee, I have a Patreon support page that you can do just that. For as little as $1, it does help make these videos possible, and also getting these documents and documents like that so I can profile them for all of you. Hope you enjoyed it. This is John Greenwald Jr. signing off. We'll see you next time.